And oh shit. We're live. I'm still on vacation. It's great. Well, not really a vacation, a staycation, but it's still been fun. It's been a good weekend. So, let's see who we've got joining us tonight. Grish says, hello all at a camp in the middle of nowhere. May join later or may not. All right, that's fair. Hope the stream goes well. Thanks, Grish. And Terrell says, dang it, thought I might beat Grish here.
Josephus is in the house. What up, Josephus?
Alonzo is here. Welcome. Terrell saying hello. Going with the Grease Lightning look. I like it. Well, you know, wife beater for hire. I don't know. Yeah, I've taken to wearing tank tops under my shirts for work, and so I was running around in just the tank top and jeans today, and it felt nice and freeing somewhat, right? So yeah. Okay. What's on the agenda tonight? So get the phone out of the pocket. I may actually be making progress on the fog video. I have taken yet another different path with it. I decided that maybe my goal for that video was a little too lofty. So I changed it around a bit. I re-recorded some footage today, and I've started the editing process. I'm hoping that Thursday will be the day that it comes out. Since there's not a midweek news video this week, I thought, we're doing a stream on Monday night. We'll push the the recorded video out on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when I can get it finished and uploaded. I want it to be on YouTube for at least 24 hours before release. So, yeah, that's the plan. But I think distilling it down to a handful of basic operations is going to be the way forward. So, creating the image placeholder, I guess, for lack of better terminology for it. Full registration of a host, quick registration of a host, captured image, deploy the image to a host that's not registered, deploy it to a single host, and multicast it. And I did 3 VMs. So I think that's going to cover the vast majority of the scenarios. I am using all Linux for this. And I may add, it's probably going to be a separate video, but I may add some explanation about Windows systems and how, imaging Windows specifically this way in 2025 is not the best option in most circumstances. And for those that need it, they're already going to understand sysprep, and they're going to have other tools to push through that process and be ready to capture an image, a sys-prepped image in fog if they are in fact going to use fog. Now, the biggest hurdle with Windows is UEFI and Secure Boot, and the fact that some new hardware does not allow you to go into legacy mode, BIOS mode. So I'm not expecting this video to be all things for all people, but if people can detach, and I know this is a big ask, but if they can detach a specific operating system from a process, then it should be a helpful video. And if my previous fog videos are any indication of how this might perform, then it will give the channel a boost, right? All right, so let's see. Very bad thunderstorms in South Carolina, not as bad as New York area. Yikes. We had 88 Freedom units here today with feels like 95. Yeah, I've been inside with the AC running. In fact, I've not left my apartment since I pulled in the driveway Thursday night after work. I was going to make a Home Depot run today and found out that the thing I wanted at Home Depot wasn't in the store and I had to have it delivered. So I made the whole order a delivery and just stayed home today. And so I've got a couple other things coming from Amazon that will either come tomorrow or Wednesday. And then life will go on, as they say, right? Let's see. TVJ's here. Welcome in. All right. So, for those of you who have Amazon Prime Video, I have to admit I am hooked on Lethal Weapon, the series. Not as good as the movies, but it's got its own interesting quirks, shall we say. Yeah, it's interesting. So I've been watching some Lethal Weapon over the weekend. I've been getting some work done around the apartment. I still can't find my drill, and it's bugging the hell out of me because I've got a rack I want to put up in the kitchen to hang pots and pans on, and I can't find the drill to mount it on the wall. So, yeah, that was one of the few things that I'd really set as a goal to get done while I was having my staycation, right? So anyway, the channel, let's see. I'm surprised that is cooperating. Okay. So, what did I want to talk about? See what vacation does to you? Let's see. I cannot do that. I have to get outside or I go nuts. Well, so it's probably oversharing, but one of the reasons that I am so comfortable being inside as much as I am is because how do I say this without getting banned from the YouTubes? Growing up, my next door neighbor was a pew pew nut, and even inside the village limits, he would pew pew off his back porch in the backyard. And so my mother was like uber paranoid about a pew pew going ricochet and taking one of us out. So I didn't get to spend much time outdoors anyways. So yeah, I've become at one with the air conditioner, and I quite enjoy being inside. Anyway, that's probably as much as I can say about that. Um, well, see, now I had actually stocked up enough food before my staycation that I was prepped to the point that I didn't have to leave. Now, tomorrow, on the other hand, I'm going to have to go outside the building and actually get some food because I'm kind of sick of the stuff I've got. You haven't missed much, David. I'll be frank. You haven't missed much. I only like to stay inside all weekend when it's cold. Yeah. Well, but see, the difference is you've got a wife that will, potentially get sick of you and kick your behind outside. I mean, there are times you could probably view it as a blessing or a curse, and maybe there are days that flip a coin, and I don't know. I am single and happy staying that way, unless I find a sugar mama who will let me be a content creator full time. The staycation is through tomorrow, so I need to go out and pick up a few things tomorrow, and then get mentally prepared for the delivery on Wednesday. And that should be interesting because I haven't been given any time frame when the delivery is happening and the setup and things of that nature. And so, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I'm over this whole thing. The project manager was a pain in my ass. And in all previous projects I've been a part of, the project manager has acted like a helicopter parent. And this one, radio silence. Radio silence. Well, yeah, well, right. The chances of that ever happening, it's probably more likely that I'm going to get struck by lightning than to find Sugar Mama. No one ever goes in, no one ever comes out. Willy Wonka, also like Funeral Home Apartment. Right. Pretty much. Hey, but in almost 11 years I've been here, I've only had to deal with the JWs once. Once in 11 years, nearly 11 years. I think that's a pretty damn good track record. I wouldn't mind a sugar mama that could buy all my photography gear and computer stuff. Well, My idea of a good time with a sugar mama would be her having a no limit credit card at either Micro Center or the Apple Store. I could have a whole lot of fun at either. Yeah, one of those Superman actors. Well, I hear that it's common for everybody to lie in their pictures on dating apps. So I could play along. Struck by lightning, even less likely when you stay inside. Yeah, pretty much. Most funeral homes, no one ever comes out. Well, they come out, just not walking. They come out in a horizontal manner or in powder form. I don't know. Take your pick. All right. So yeah, there's a few things I just do not like about this software. Primary of which is that it doesn't give me any indicator. Oh, there's the indicator. All right. So we've been live for 21 and a half minutes minus the 5 that was the countdown timer. Yeah, things are going all right, I guess. The channel is at, come here, 7,370 7,378 subscribers. So I've been up as high as 73.79 today and as low as 73.77. But you know what they say, one step forward, 2 steps back, right? Shake and bake me, right? Did anyone ever watch the movie Stranger Than Fiction? He stayed inside and was almost wrongly demolished. I have never seen that. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. All right, so let's see. I didn't quite get get the scenes completely set up the way I wanted, so bear with me a moment. I'm going to move to the next scene. And I need to add a layer, a video layer, and do the screen share. And come over here. Okay, so and we'll make this a little smaller, something like that. All right. All right, so Commodore is back. I think I mentioned this once before. And it's kind of funny because I actually keep a Commodore 64 as a prop over here. An OG Commodore 64. So yeah, this is getting interesting this time around because of the team they've assembled. So Al Carpentier, who is the father of the Commodore 64, technical advisor and visionary, Sean Donahue, co-founder, COO. We got legal counsel. We've got Jerry Ellsworth, technical advisor and hardware partner. We've got Christian Perifractic Simpson, co-founder and CEO. He is sort of the brain behind this whole thing and getting it back restarted. Dave Haney, one of the Amiga people from Commodore back in the day. I think his claim to fame was the Amiga 500. And I think, I don't know, he's worked on some other projects as well. Bill Hurd was architect of the Commodore 128. So we've got Thomas Middletek. He's from the show Silicon Valley, I think, if I remember correctly. Leo Nigro, co-founder and lead engineer, PC and Amiga. David Pleasance, he was one of the Commodore UK people and was trying to buy or license or whatever the rights for Commodore after the bankruptcy. Colin Proudfoot was also part of Commodore back in the day. Alex Rosenblatt, I'm not sure who he is. Leonard Trammell, he was Jack Trammell's son, or he is Jack Trammell's son, the late Jack Trammell. And he was part of Commodore back in the day before they went to Atari and built the Jackintosh. I mean, the Atari ST. And then a couple of these other guys. So there's not a lot of news as far as what products are going to be out in the future. But currently they are selling the Commodore 64 Ultimate Edition. You've got the Basic, the Founders, and the Starlight Edition. I don't know. I don't know. I'm partial to the basic beige model myself, but yeah, I don't know. The Starlight is too much RGB for me. I don't do RGB. But anyways, there are also some clothing items, and you can even get 24 karat gold plated dog tags as a necklace with the Commodore 64 logo and the power from the Commodore 64. So yeah, it sounds like the other products they might have in the pipeline are due sometime in 2026. And, you know, since they're rebooting the company and have to get funding and all this kind of stuff in place, it could be 2027. Let's be realistic about that. The cool thing, though, if we look back through the team again, excuse me, these are all people who are either Commodore veterans from back in the day, or they're part of the scene, whether that's, you know, the Commodore 8-bit series or the Amiga. You know, they're all part of the scene. And so, you know, I think this is going to be interesting to watch unfold. I'm not going to make any bets on this. I'm really not. Is it interesting to me? Yes, absolutely. Is it something that I'm going to bet the bank on it being around for a long time? The jury's out. So anyway. Let's see. I am not full-time on YouTube. I have a day job. The movie is worth a watch, really. Nice. An IRS auditor gets to be friendly with a hot auditee who told him to get bent the first time she met him. Well, yeah, that's the normal MO for movie romances. You know, guy gets shot down, guy convinces girl to go out with him again, or to actually go out with them or something, and they live happily ever after, right? Something like that. What brand of camera do you shoot with? I'm a Nikon Fujifilm guy. So, okay, that's for Terrell. If that group of employees can't make something good, not sure who could. Wow. Yeah. I think they've got a strong group of people here because so Al is an engineer, Jerry is an engineer, Dave's an engineer, Bill's an engineer, Leo's an engineer, and then you've got a bunch of people who are product designers and distribution managers, technical officers. I like this one, Chief Trammell Officer. But you know, I think this is going to be something different because it's not just a money grab mission on this. They are registered in Delaware, so that's interesting. But yeah, I like the new taglines they've got. The future we were promised, and what's the other one? Well, anyways, I think this is going to be interesting to watch. So, anyway, I just let's see. Can we move this? That's where I want that. All right. So so Terrell has a Canon R10. I'm not familiar with that camera, but and Nerd 45 has a Nikon Z8. Interesting. Anyway. So yeah. It's been an interesting weekend. Not really the way I planned things, but let's move back here for the moment. We ended up having a pretty sizable storm go through Friday about the time I was supposed to leave, and I didn't really want to drive in it. And I could have regrouped and left Saturday morning, but by that time I had sort of made up my mind that I was just going to stay put and try to get some stuff done here. Part of which was the fog video, and hopefully that will be edited tomorrow, hopefully before noon tomorrow, and then I might have some chance of releasing it on Wednesday even. This has been something that I've been working on, and I've had footage and I've deleted footage and reshot it multiple times to try to get a video that I would be happy with. And I'm just to the point that I'm just not that into making fog videos anymore. And it seems like every one that I do is a bit of a chore. And so I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to put this video out. I may put one additional video out on fog, maybe before the end of this month even, to tie up a few loose ends and explain a few things that I am not covering in this footage that I got today. I've got 31 and a half approximately minutes of footage. I have started editing. It was about 35. So I've already started cutting a good chunk out. I need to add an intro, and then I may do little pop-ins where I'm on camera in between each segment of the video. And, you know, that will add some additional length to it, but, you know, it is what it is, right? But yeah, that's what I spent a good chunk of my day doing, is sitting and prepping the virtual machines and things that I needed to do the demonstration for this video footage, and then actually getting it recorded and starting the editing process. And you know, it's just been, yeah, trying to figure out where I want to cut. Once I have a rough cut done, then I can add in the zooms and some transitions and other crap that people seem to like. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm shooting for Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I know Wednesday is going to be a hell of a day at work, so even with it being a shortened day for me, I'm not 100% sure I'm actually going to get to work a shortened day, because we're having a project. Outside people come in to complete a project. And since I'm the technical person, I sort of have to be there, right? So yeah, I may end up going in early that day. I may end up just going in after hours tomorrow night just to get some things a little more prepped. And see what happens. I'm hoping that it goes smoothly. I really am hoping that it goes smoothly. Am I banking on it? No, obviously not. Part of the reason that I didn't feel like driving on Friday morning was because on Thursday I had what I would describe as a panic attack. And probably only the second one that I would truly describe as that in my life. And that's because the project manager sent out status information to my boss. Somewhere along the line, I stopped being included on the email chain, saying that the delivery and installation was on Tuesday. And so I sent an email back saying, I'm not available on Tuesday. I'm still on vacation on Tuesday. I'm driving home from vacation on Tuesday. She doesn't need to know that I didn't leave the state. And so I sent her an email. I waited 90 minutes, got zero response from her. I finally found her phone number, which she doesn't include at the bottom of every email. And I called and I said, hey, is this a typo or did you really move the installation up to Tuesday? I need to know if I need to come back from vacation early. She finally called back. Yes, it was a typo. 90% of our installs are done on Tuesdays. Okay, well. And to think, I was once told men aren't detail oriented. Yeah, well. In any event, I am not going back until Wednesday. Does Commodore have that large of a following to make this work? Probably not here in the States, but in Europe, yes, there is still a pretty lively following. And never underestimate the retro scene and, you know, Gen X and older that have money now that they can blow on toys. The real twist to that movie is that the auditor's life is being determined by a narrator, and the books she writes always end with the main character dying a tragic death. Nice. That's how I found your channel, the only good fog info on YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate hearing that. I just... So the thing is, I know I have the most up-to-date fog content on YouTube. And part of me wants to continue making them because they make me money. I'll be honest. The fog videos make me a decent amount of money in the grand scheme of things. I'm a small channel in the grand scheme of things. But at the same time, I no longer use fog every day. And people seem to want me to do Windows and fog. And the problem it comes down to is that I don't have an unlimited number of Windows machines at my disposal to do it justice, physical machines to do it justice. And there is a segment of viewers, especially new ones, that can't make the mental leap from, you know, I'm doing this with virtual machines because it's convenient for me to be able to demonstrate it. They can't make the leap from that to what are the problems that I may run into with a given piece of hardware. Well, unless people want to send me hardware, which, hey, we can make arrangements if you really want to. But unless people want to send me hardware, I can't test every scenario. It's I do the best I can with what I got. It is the bottom line. but you know, it's one of those things where the problem with modern Windows machines comes down to secure boot and you know TPM stuff. And even back in what 2016, 2017, somewhere in that area, when I was using this for my then day job, the new laptops that we got and were imaging at the time, we had to disable UEFI, go back to BIOS mode, do the imaging, switch it back to UEFI, and then boot into Windows and complete additional configuration steps. Is it a pain in the butt? Yes. Are there other options today in 2025? Yes. Even at that time, a lot of the manufacturers were offering some semi-custom setup before the machines ever left the distributor, right? And so, you know, between that and things like Intune and other things that are available now, I'm just not convinced Fog is the best solution to the problem anymore. Now, if you have a zero budget, then you do with what you've got, right? It's just one of those things because you know technically, legally, and my standard disclaimer applies. I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on television. You know, I've got more of the physique of a bouncer at a bar, right? But the bottom line is that you know to do a custom Windows ISO to be able to deploy to multiple machines, you're supposed to have a volume license agreement with Microsoft. It is what it is. I'm not buying a volume license agreement to do YouTube videos. If somebody wants to sponsor the channel and pay for said volume license, or if you know there's a company out there that wants some fog work done and they want to supply me with access to volume license information, then I could probably be persuaded to put more effort into Windows. Unfortunately, if it's coming out of my bank account directly, it's a no-go. I use Fog only for imaging and domain joining. I prefer Ansible Semaphore for package installs. Yeah. I mean, Ansible is capable of tapping into Winget. I actually use, and let me see here. Let me take your comment off. I actually use Action 1. And again, this is me being in an environment in my day job where we've had practically a zero budget for the last several years. Thankfully, that's starting to change now. But the great thing about Action 1 is that there, dark mode, thank you. Come back over here. Action 1, as it says right here on top, first 200 endpoints. It was 100 when I got into it. First 200 endpoints free. No feature limits. And they have included in this a software repository where you can deploy software to either an individual or a group of PCs so that you're, getting everything installed. Plus, you can do, you can add a custom package to the repository, which is great. And oh, that's why. I come back to my organization, it'll actually show something. But this allows me to do all my updating and have logs of things. You've got to approve packages before they'll get installed. It sort of overrides the Windows update facility. Plus, you got an audit trail, right? So it tells you who did what and when, which is very helpful. And I probably need to do more with their reporting, especially for my day job. But the whole reason I've got it for home use is, well, to keep the couple of Windows machines I've got updated. I keep my Mac updated with it to some extent. And then in the fall, they're going to be adding Linux support. And hopefully it's going to be the fall. That's what they keep claiming is going to be the fall. And so I'm wanting to be able to test it out with all three platforms because I suspect there aren't going to be a whole lot of people testing out that functionality and making YouTube videos on it. So, anyway, that's I'd rather install just a vanilla Windows 11 on a machine and then use Action 1 to do everything else and then track it afterwards in Action 1. So that's my approach these days. I've never actually used the functionality in Fog to join stuff to Active Directory because I don't currently have Active Directory running on my home network. The closest I don't even have that running. I have run for testing purposes and demonstration purposes a domain through Zenshell, which is basically just built on top of Ubuntu. It's got a web-based UI, runs Samba domain, supports being administered with some of the RSAT tools in Windows. Is it the be-all, end-all? No. Is it great for small businesses and nonprofits that have a tiny budget? Yes. So anyway, comment disappeared. That's weird. No, even though today was a very stressful day. Anything you want to share? I had to see an IMD about some site issues I've been having. Well, that's not good for your other hobby. Okay, it shows my age, but no problem. Need cataract surgery. Well, it's going to happen to all of us sooner or later. Unless we take an early dirt nap, right? Actually glad that's all it is, which I had guessed it might be. My grandmother had that. It was pretty smooth, not too bad. Yeah. I actually talked to the last time I had my eyes checked, which I'm due to get them checked this fall, but I've got no insurance budget left. So I was asking my eye doctor about laser correction. And I'm past the age that they'll do laser correction, LASIK or whatever. And he said, well, you've got to wait until you need cataract surgery, and then it's a very similar procedure in some ways. But it's like, all right, well, I've made it this far with wearing glasses. I might as well just wait it out and see what happens. But anyway, all right. I am going to put up the little trivia game, and I need to go turn the AC back on because it's feeling pretty doggone warm in this room. I thought I was going to be able to luck out and not have it on during the stream, but with this light facing at me, not so much. So I'm going to put this on, and then when I come back, I will bring myself back on screen on the trivia. Hopefully this I made some adjustments, so hopefully it will not have such a lengthy wait period. All right, so I'll be back momentarily. All right. Well, hopefully there's sound. All right, so C# was released in 2000. Oh, let's see. In the server hosting industry, IaaS stands for... We really need some Jeopardy music right now. Infrastructure as a service is the correct answer. This is the part where I'd hoped I had shortened it enough, and apparently I didn't. Well, you win some, you lose some. NVIDIA's headquarters are based in which Silicon Valley city? I don't even know this one. These questions came from a question bank, and I just said, give me 5. I'm pretty sure it's not Cupertino. And let's see what the answer is. Yeah, this is definitely the part that's too long. Santa Clara. So TVJ, this is a piece of software called Live Reacting. That's I'm using for hosting the whole live stream, the layouts and the quiz and all that stuff. The countdown timers are included. It is a whole lot more flexible than what StreamYard is, but it's got some quirks that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. It's very different. How many kilobytes are in 1 gigabyte in decimal? Believe my laser eye doctor 22 years ago told me normally would not do surgery over 55. Yeah, I think most of them in Michigan are 50. It can be used as an OBS plugin, but it is a standalone web-based platform by itself. But it does have a plugin mode. You can use it with whatever other software you want. There's a little bit different setup to use it for that. All right, question 5 of 5. What does the acronym CDN stand for in terms of networking? I'll give you a hint. It's not 3 or 4. Content Distribution Network. Yep. And that one I had actually been familiar with in terms of web hosting. So, yeah, I've dabbled in a few things, right? All right, and it should give us the leaderboard. I'll move my fat head out of the way. And it looks like we've got a tie with 2 correct answers each. All right. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. All right. Hold on. There we go. I never configured the last scene. I'm just going to remove that. All right. My bad. Haley had 4 correct answers. Oh my. So yeah, I guess I don't really have. I don't think I've got anything else I can demo tonight. Oh, I suppose I could show this off a little bit. Well, see if I can force this to restart. Oh, here. There we go. So I saw that Cache OS or Catchy OS, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not sure which one is technically correct. Had a new release out. And this is an Arch-based system, and they happen to be including the Cosmic Desktop, which I've grown rather fond of lately. Now, I'll tell you right off, there are some things that don't work in Cosmic on an Arch-based system, like the Cosmic Store. Because I believe that only supports flat packages and Debian packages. So that kind of rules it out for Arch systems. But it does have a few things installed. This is kind of interesting. The Avahi SSH server browser. And I don't think I've seen this application before, but it detects the GLINet KVM, and we can connect to that or attempt to. Don't think that's working. Of course, I think that's only browser based. So, what is that on? For was that 122 maybe? No. 99 is the Jet KVM, but that's not responding at the moment for whatever reason. Which that's not what I wanted there. This is what I wanted. That one. So that is still live. That's on 99, which is interesting that it's not showing up over here. That's probably why. So yeah, this. So that's the Jet KVM. So I've got Ubuntu over there, and then Comet is not showing up in my search. So anyway, I've been having some fun with KVM stuff lately. That's interesting. You should do a trivia night. I mean, that's something I've thought about. I floated the idea a few times, and people kind of gave me mixed responses about whether they were interested in something like that. I think it'd be fun myself, but does PikaPods auto update images? Do they have a time they do it? Is there downtime? So yes, they auto update images. Give me a moment. Got to get my my new number. Okay, so they have where okay, so you will receive an email when the pod is updated to a new app version. This can be useful to keep track of new features or check for potential issues after an update. I don't currently have that set. Maybe I should have that set. Probably should do that on all of these. That one I did have it set on. So I'm not sure I've ever seen a specific message on when they do the updates. I'm sure it's just scripted. We host your apps at the container level with everything taken care of. This includes OS and app updates, taking care of setup steps, regular backups, and monitoring. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure when they do the updates, but I have had Fresh RSS running for 2 years and have not had an outage with it. Other than when my own power was out and I couldn't get on the internet anyways. So, but yeah, I could, let me put me back on, close this. Now, if I look in my personal email, so the last message I got saying that Fresh RSS was updated was on June 11th of this year. Looks like the 11th of the month. So there's May 11th. May 11th. They notified me when there was an outage on their end. I was at work when this happened, so I didn't even notice it. But yeah, it's been rock solid for what I use it for. So anyway, I guess that's that. Are there any other questions, comments, suggestions? I'll take suggestions at this point. I still haven't got that stupid graphic moved over from StreamYard for the like my video graphic. But what on earth? 2 hours ago. Who is this guy? Sure. Anyway. Yeah. So fog video this week. Then it's on to other projects. I have a few in mind. I've got some partially scripted out. Will likely 077161. We'll likely start looking at doing a few operating system installs and tours. I don't know. So when I started the channel, it really got its start because of fog. Well, fog has, over the years, sort of flatlined on the speed of development. It's slow but steady, right? I really had mixed feelings about even making the video that I'm going to put out this week, because I'd really wanted to wait until Fog 1.6 was out with the new graphical interface. But I guess worst case scenario, I re-record this stuff after the new interface is out, and then I, reap the benefits, right? So there are other things that I want to get into covering. And part of that is getting back into doing some work with Ansible, doing some work with OpenTofu, potentially using Terraform as well, at least for testing purposes. I'm not really impressed with the business practices they've been using at the company for a while, but the idea being that I can more hone in on Proxmox videos and, you know, go beyond the beginner stuff and use a combination of Ansible and Terraform or OpenTofu, and, you know, do the whole infrastructure as code type of approach, right? And who knows, if I can make that much work, then I may go so far as to expanding it into targeting DigitalOcean or Linode or AWS or what have you, and going that route to spin up some resources to manipulate via code. One thing that will play into this will be using Semaphore UI. When I demoed now I'm having a brain fart. When I demoed that software the other night, that was similar to Casa OS. They actually had Semaphore as an option, and so you know I will likely play with that. In the greater scheme of things, see if I can figure out what software I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not having any good luck figuring that out tonight. Oh well. Run TP. Apparently I shut both of them down. Anyway, so I've got some ideas that I've already sort of looked at some of the building blocks for. And it's just kind of bringing it together in a something resembling a cohesive thought and video, right? So anyway, we'll push to the 90-minute mark and then put a fork in me. I'm done. So what else? Come back over here and do this. I can come back here. So Twin Tail Launcher. Oh, anime games. Don't care. More FlatHub stuff. Proton Plus, I'm pretty sure is... Oh, Proton meaning the compatibility layer built on top of Wine, and not Proton as in the mail and other thing company. Local Translate, Freelance, Asteria. Read your birth chart. Yeah, okay. I've been through this a couple times today, so there's not likely to be too much interesting in here. YouTube is rolling out, or at least widely testing, a new video player designed for its web experience that feels much different. Goody. Gigabyte motherboard is vulnerable to UEFI malware bypass. Bypassing secure boot. Yeah. I knew secure boot wasn't really that secure. Oh, this is interesting. I posted about this in the on the community page. The Pine 64 Alpha 1. It's a appliance, a PC appliance with a RISC-V processor, 20 TOPS NPU, and it's about $330 US. And it's basically an AI appliance, right? Comes with the 7B DeepSeek Owen LLM pre-installed. So the quad-core RISC-V CPU at 1.8 gigahertz, 20 TOPS NPU, 32 gigs of RAM, single PCIe 3.0 by 4 slot, 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, GPIO, and a bunch of other stuff, Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3. So I like the idea of it, but I'll wait for the second generation model. More Ugreen stuff. ARM-based network-attached storage devices. Aren't there existing models all x86 based or x64 based? I don't own one, so I don't know. I can't keep up on every NAS box that comes out, unfortunately. Linux Mint 22.2 beta expected soon. And then once that's released fully, they are switching over to Linux Mint Debian Edition 7 work. And that's going to be based on Debian 13. So I am looking forward to that. And the big thing that's going to come in Linux Mint Debian Edition 7 is going to be the OEM install. Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold potential specs leak ahead of next month's launch. Yeah, I'm waiting for the launch on all the Pixel 10 stuff so I can get a deal on a Pixel 9, because my 6A, their next update is going to throttle my battery so the thing doesn't catch on fire. Yay! Nothing too interesting here. The Zuck pledges hundreds of billions for AI data centers in superintelligence push. And here I am trying to prep to get rid of Facebook altogether. Oh yeah, the new version of GParted has dropped 32-bit support. So there's that. Jeff Geerling, Lawrence Systems. Network Chuck. Library stuff. Yeah. Anyway. I'm also hoping tomorrow that I can catch up the first week of news for what will be midweek news a week from Wednesday. That should be interesting. It'll be nice to have a leg up on getting that done. Are there audio settings in the software when you get loud? It distorts a bit, not bad, but worth looking into. It's not on the Rodecaster. I can see it's in the green, yellow when it happens. Yeah, I purposely tried to keep the Rodecaster at a decent level. It gives me... Okay, so it's got echo cancellation and noise suppression that are both turned on. Should I disable one or both of those, Josephus? They're turned on by default. If I turn them both off, is this any better or worse? Ha! We'll try that. I thought I heard some distortion earlier. I thought it was my phone, but listened on multiple sources. Okay, that's fair. I'm working on a big BGP stream video idea. Interesting. Krish made it in. He must have internet access. One of those data centers is going in near me. Yippee. Both of those can be on. That shouldn't be the distortion. Same with them off. Okay, I'll turn them back on. Doesn't give me any other options besides those two. It's just a matter of picking the audio source and yeah. So I was pretty sure it wasn't the Rodecaster, but I'm willing to entertain other ideas. I barely have internet here, no service, working off some kind of point-to-point wireless pointing at some random mountain. Well, hey, at least you got outside, right? It's more than what I can say all weekend. Have a good night, Jay. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you, man. All right, we have passed the hour and 30-minute marker, so I am going to let everybody go, and I am going to go relax for a few minutes, and then maybe try to do another 30 minutes of editing before I go to bed. Chances of me actually doing that are probably pretty low, but I always want to try. It's in the 90s, sitting in the RV with AC, putting kids to bed. Well, good luck with getting the kids to bed. At least you got AC in the RV. I have to wonder, is it a big rolling turd? If you know, you know. Have a good one, Alonzo. Thanks for coming in. All right. On that note, everybody have a great night, and I'll be back probably Wednesday evening, I'm going to shoot for another stream and just kind of catch everybody up with whatever the crazy shenanigans went on during that day. I think that'll be a good plan to make that happen. And maybe tomorrow I'll get a few other things set up and we'll have something new and interesting, or at least different, to talk about. So hopefully we'll see everybody on Wednesday. Rented it off outdoorsy. Nice. Have a good night, everybody.